Welcome to Life Mastery for Women. I'm your host, Jen Mack, Lady of the Mind. I've been studying mind mastery and emotional management and energy work and its connection to spirituality for over 25 years. And in this podcast, I help guide you out of your daily struggles in life in the areas of health, wealth, relationships, and spirituality. Life is hard, but your daily growth doesn't have to be. Join me 3 times a week as I lead you inward on a healing, connecting, and creating journey. Let's go get that nugget of inspiration towards your transformation. Hey ladies, it's Jen Mack, Lady of the Mind. Welcome to today's episode where I hope I'm finding you receiving all that you want. If you're not receiving all that you want, then it is my intention that in today's episode I give you just one nugget of inspiration towards your transformation. So receiving mode is an energetic response to what it is that you want. And what I mean by that is, let's say you want a new relationship and you're maybe not in a relationship. That part doesn't matter, but is you yearn for this thing, you talk about this thing, you endlessly search, you fret about it, you journal about it, you talk about it with your friends, your family, your coworkers, your ex, your whoever. That is not receiving mode. And when we are in that mode, that's like forcing, I say is kinking the hose, that is manipulating, trying to force things to happen. And we know when we're in that, like energetically, you really know, by complaining, by whining, you're not going to get the thing that you want. You're just not going to. And when we're in that space, you're standing there kinking your own hose. And I hopefully, if this is the first time you're listening to this, I will share the hose analogy because I haven't in a while, but I love it. It's one of my favorite analogies to describe energy work. So picture a hose that's connected to a spigot, and it's a long hose, and the other end of the hose has a sprinkler that's connected to a garden, a flower garden, let's say. Now, the pieces that represent the analogy part is the hose is you. That's you, your chakras, your energy, your physical body. Okay. And the spigot, the water that can come through the spigot is actually the connection to source energy. The water that runs through is life force energy. And the water in the garden, that's your life. So when there's no obstruction in the hose, there's no kinking, there's no clogs, there's no crap stuck in there, water flows out naturally when you turn the spigot on. And when the water flows out naturally to the garden, it creates a beautiful, vibrant, wonderful life experience, your beautiful garden, right? So when we are forcing something to happen, what you're technically doing is standing there kinking the hose. You are standing there not allowing life force energy through. So you're saying things like, I'm never going to find a relationship. All the good ones are taken. There's no good people left on this planet. I suck at relationships. Who's going to want me anyway? That is you kinking the hose. Okay, those are your words, your thoughts, your beliefs. And you might be like, well, wait, Jen, but my past experience shows that I'm this or I'm that. And I'm like, okay, well, your past experience may show that, but your past does not equal your future. Write that down. Your past does not equal your future. Now, if you've listened to my energy work from last year, some of the episodes that I put out, we're talking about the past stuckness of the body, the past memories, the habits, the behaviors that are locked in your body, that when you wake up, you basically reinstall the same program. Because every single day, every morning that you wake up, you actually start with a clean slate, brand new clean slate. And every moment in that sweet spot of sleep, you could be installing new beliefs, and which would lead to new habits and new behaviors that would create a new future. Now this is the stuff that I do. This is my work that I do in my coaching program, is I teach you how to do that, but I walk you through many different visual activities and exercises that are so, so important. Not just a normal energy or a guided meditation, but some real energy work to the depth that when you wake up, you're a new you. I mean, when you wake up, when I bring you back to the present moment, you are a new person. That belief is gone, and we've installed a new belief. We have cleaned the hard drive. We have shifted and changed your beliefs. So the next day, your habits are different. The things that you do are different, which leads you faster and accelerates your growth, your connections, and brings your goals to fruition a lot faster than if you were to try to hold on to these beliefs. It's you running around kinking the hose and yelling at the water company of why the water's not coming through, or yelling at the fertilizer company or the seeds for the flowers, or talking about the sun or the clouds. It's none of that. It's actually you. So how do we get to be in this receiving mode? How do we get to let go of the hose? Well, first of all, when you are in an accelerated state, an emotionally charged space, that you are overwhelmed, you're angry, you're pissed off, you're really in a it's a high energetic, like moving state. Like you just have these really deep emotions, and they're not good. They're not good emotions. From that space, we call those survival. It's like your survival emotions. And if you think about it, when you are in that survival need, you're really angry, you're really overwhelmed, you're really grieving, you're sad, you're anxious, you're depressed, you're very selfish because you're so deep in your body and in your energy that you become this selfish person. In a moment, you're like, oh my God, everybody help me. You can't be there for somebody else, okay? It's not a problem. It's just that's where we are, right? And when you're in this space, you can't receive from there. So what do we have to do? When you're in that space, there is care to be done here. You can't solve the problem from there. You've heard me talk about that many times. You can't solve the problem from that space. So what do you have to do? You have to immediately recognize one thing. Your bucket is empty. Your self-care bucket is empty. You have nothing to give anybody. So what you immediately need to do is move right into self-care and self-love. And if you can't move into self-love, that's okay. Move right into self-care. Asking yourself, what can I do to raise my numbers? What can I do in this moment to feel better? And the thing might be, take a nap. Great, go take a nap. Go for a walk. Go for a walk then. Take a hot bath. Then go take a hot bath. Go do the thing. If you can do it, go do the thing that will make you feel better, okay? Once you can feel better, then you can move into a higher vibrational frequency: love, joy, freedom, fun, excitement, happiness, health. Then you can start receiving. That's when your heart starts to open. When we are down in the lower chakras, the root, the sacral, the solar, and you're in that survival mode, those are the ones that are anchored in the physical world. Okay? When you're wanting new emotional states to come into our life, we have to open the upper chakras. So you have to get out of the lower chakras. You have to balance them all. But when we have all our focus down in those lower chakras, we're in survival mode. You're not in receiving mode. You're in forcing, kinking, choking, pushing, really forcing. I know I keep repeating forcing, but that just like really is what we try to do. We try to manipulate the external world to make us happy. And I say you have to go into your own inner world, find your own happiness using your mind, your imagination, your focus, your concentration, your awareness, your attention. And you have to create that happiness from there, feel into it, and then expand it and allow it to kind of kick out any of those other negative emotions at the moment. So how do we do this? Take the thing that you want to receive. Go into what I call your workshop, which is in your mind, maybe in your journal, if you can create the space. And you go in and you start talking about the thing as if it's present moment and it is already here. It's already here. That creates this confidence, and it also communicates to the universe of what it is that you want as you're gaining this clarity. You're going into this space to create clarity around the thing that you want. Okay? Then what you have to really tap into is what you're thinking and what your words are and how they feel in your body. You can't stand in front of the mirror and say, I'm thin and fit, I'm thin and fit. If you don't feel it in your body, it's not true. The mental energy is not going to bring you the thing. You're not going to move into receiving mode. How do you move into receiving mode? You have to get the feeling of receiving in your body. And how do you do that? You do that with different thoughts, different words, and different perspective. If I'm throwing a fit about something and something's not going my way, and I'm really, really bugging about the something, whatever the something is, and I really want something to happen, I'm going to force, manipulate, and coerce trying to get it to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to. And if it is, it's very, very short term. Okay? What I need to do is now go, okay, this is how I'm feeling right now. I'm going to move into self-care. I'm going to bring my numbers up until I can feel better. I'm going to get back to neutral. Okay. One word that you can use, I talk about this all the time. You guys can probably fill in the blanks. One word that you can use that will help you to get out of that emotional state and into something neutral is what? What word is that? Yeah, you guessed it. Curiosity. I'm curious. I'm really angry about this thing and I really want to force and kink and throw things, right? And I want to make things happen. I'm like, I'm curious. What's it going to take for me to raise my numbers? You're immediately working with the energies that be. You're starting to unkink the hose and being curious about, I wonder if the water were to flow, what flowers, what color those lilies would be. Okay? Hopefully you're following me. I'm a little bit squirrely right now, but hopefully you'll follow me. So when we get to that space and we can start to get curious, then we could say, okay, let's talk about the thing. Let's talk about the business. Let's talk about the relationship. Let's talk about the job, whatever it is that you want. And then now start talking about it as if you already have it. Put your actor hat on. Put your future self hat on. Get your imagination juices flowing. Get to the place where you're talking about the thing and you are getting more and more excited. Now, I remember when I first kind of stumbled upon this technique and I was like, I always use my imagination. I always talk to myself. I've had a huge imagination for years and years. I've never gotten rid of it. And this was hard for me. So I imagine that you are like, Jen, this is really dumb. I'm not going to do that. And I'm going to say, okay, how bad do you want the thing? I'm going to say, go do it. Because I would practice speaking and I landed a speaking job. I would practice coaching and I was a coacher. Oh my gosh. I'm tired, I think, right now. I became a coach and I became a speaker and I became a parent and I moved into all these different spaces in my life, in these experiences, because I practiced them. So I want you to do that. If you have to do it writing, that's fine. But remember the future self guided meditation I walked you through where you get into that space and you step into the role and then you become, you are the director and you're moving the actors and actresses in your scene. I want you to do that. Because what this does is it starts to bring your energy numbers up and your vibrational frequency up so you can start to communicate. You can start to communicate with source energy to be able to now move to a space that allows the thing that you want to start coming towards you. It allows the thing to start coming towards you. Think about going to a restaurant and getting really excited about whatever it is you're going to order. The waiter comes to the table, you place your order, the waiter walks away, and you start getting excited thinking about the meal you're about to eat, the drink you're about to have, the dessert you're about to taste, right? You start getting excited about it, but you have this sense of confidence, this knowing that this meal is coming, okay? You're going to do the same thing. I want you to try this exercise. I want you to spend some time in your workbook trying to figure this out. And in workbook, I just mean your journal. And using words that create this excitement to you in your body. You want to talk about it and create a visual so you can feel it in your body. Okay? Or here's another one. I just listened to a guided meditation this morning. I actually listened to it twice. And it was really, really good. And it was about moving into receiving mode. And it says you can ask yourself, show me what is receiving mode. And immediately I could feel like this pressure that was on my chest start to like open. And it was like this double doorway that was like opening off my heart. And it was just this warm sensation across my chest and down my arms. It was amazing. And then the guided meditation, he says to ask, show me what restriction looks like. And immediately it was like, boom, boom, like the gates just closed across my heart. And it was amazing. It was an amazing feeling. And he said, so when you're throughout your day is to ask for guidance. Show me what receiving mode is like. Put me in receiving mode. Remind me of the energy of receiving. It was great. So that's another thing that you can do. That's another thing that you can do to get yourself into receiving mode. But I will tell you this, and I will say it in every podcast from here henceforth, is do not try to solve the problem when you are in that low vibrational state. Do not try to solve the problem when you are in that low vibrational state, when you're angry, when you're overwhelmed, when you're disgusted, when you're completely upset, do not try to problem solve. Just say, okay, I'm not going to have this conversation right now because I can't solve the problem from here. Even though we'll try, and even though you'll listen to this podcast 6 times and you'll still do it, you can't solve it from there. Every time I get upset about work, like I'm creating a new program right now, and a new group coaching program, and it's like, 145 slides and all, like what words and organizing the 5-day event, what goes first, what should I do? And I'm rearranging the days and the slides and the times and what I'm teaching. I'm taking that out and putting this in and all this stuff. And it's a lot of work, and I get very overwhelmed. And Amy is talking to me on the phone, and of course I'm in this tizzy and I'm just completely overwhelmed by it. And she's like, and I'm like, what? And I'm all upset and stuff. And she goes, we can't solve the problem from here. Nothing like my own advice coming back at me. And I'm like, okay, I'm all mad and stuff. And she's like, so what can you do right now to feel better? And it was awesome. And it's exactly what I needed to hear. And this is exactly what you need to hear. So if there's something in your life that you're trying to uncover, you're trying to receive, your job is to raise your vibration. Your job is to find those words that allow you to move directly into receiving mode. So when you say them, you can feel them. There's this mind-body connection that I think a lot of people don't put enough power or trust in it, that we move from a lot of space of this mental capacity and this mental energy, and I'm going to mentally try to bring this thing to coercion or bring this thing to fruition. It's not going to work. Never, never, ever is it going to work. Never. Your mental energy is such a weak signal. It is such a weak signal. It is never going to bring about the thing you want. You must use your words and your imagination and your visualization skills to get that down into your body so your body can start to memorize it, can start to create new habits from there. We hear all the time, you must visualize the thing that you want, and you must have a goal, and you must have a reason for wanting the goal, and you must have all these things and create a vision board. They don't ever tell you why, but that's why. Your body is the thing that's going to move it into the receiving mode to allow the universe to say, hey, bring me this thing. It's like that's where you're sending out the beacon of light that the universe is like, oh, there you are. I wasn't sure where you were. Where instead of having the light to the lighthouse lit, you're standing down at the bottom of the lighthouse with a tiny little pocket flashlight going, here I am. That's a mental energy. And the universe is like, I can't see you. I'm down here. I can't see you. Well, damn it. Right? You have to climb the ladder. You have to get all the way up to the top. You have to light the beacon so the universe can find you. So here's my hope. I have a group coaching program starting at the beginning of March, and it is going to be a killer program. It is a 6-week intensive where we are going to get you to a place of healing so you can start to be out of that selfish state of those survival energies and start moving to a place of the synchronicity and getting rid of the stuck energy, unkinking the hose so the water flows, the life force energy flows, and your life starts to be amazing. If this is something you want more information about, please send me a friend request on Jen Mac on Facebook, JenMac. Send me a friend request. Send me a message that says, hey, I'm interested. Or you can come to our Chakras for Beginners group and make a post. Say, hey, I'm interested in your group coaching program. And then we could jump on a call real quick, find out if we're a good match, and I'll tell you all about what I have going on. So in the meantime, please continue to move yourself to receiving mode using these tools. Don't underestimate the simplicity of these tools being so powerful. My whole foundation of the tools in my personal development journey has always been simple yet powerful. Like, I'm impatient. I want shit to change right now. And when it doesn't, I'm like all about kinking the hose and calling the water department, right? Or the water company. So I think that it's important for you to understand how I work. I'm impatient. I don't know if you're impatient or not, but if you want some tools, if you want some tools that are going to really start shifting your life, these are those tools. So don't underestimate the power of writing in your journal, but feeling into your body. Don't just write empty words. That's just you with a tiny little flashlight standing at the foot of the lighthouse and going, hey, universe, I want a new boyfriend. Hey, universe, I want a multi-million-dollar business. Universe is like, what? I can't hear you. What are you saying? I don't see you. Right? Don't be that person. Climb the ladder, get up in that lighthouse, start lighting the beacon, and start getting into receiving mode. I'll talk to you next time. Thanks for listening. And if you were inspired by this episode and are looking for healing, transformational growth, and a community to show up in, then please join me on Facebook under Jen Mac, JenMac. Friend me and follow me. You can also reach out to me via Messenger to see when my next program begins so we can work together to bring about your healing, deepen your connections, and start to create your bold, beautiful life. Also, if you are inspired by my podcast, please share your opinion in a review so others can be inspired too. Keep growing, going, and transforming, and keep looking for those nuggets of inspiration.